Show. My name is Linnet Carty. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm really excited about this show. I've been talking with this young lady for quite some time, and the topic is what I would call heavy. Most of you know I do light topics. Well, today on the Linnet Carty Show, it's my pleasure to welcome Neiima Edwards. Welcome, Neiima. Thank you for coming. And Neiima is the author of Forgiveness, Chasing Forgiveness, Abortion, a Life Sentence. So I want you to really share with our viewers a little bit about your journey and why you wrote this book.
You know, Linnet, if you had asked me a week ago who I wrote the book for, why I wrote the book, I would have told you the obvious answer for women all across America and all across the world who have to deal with abortion in some way, shape, or form. It could be your grandmother, it could be you, it could be a memory that you have that you were told of. It could be a myriad of different things and aspects that women go through, and
it's tough. It was tough for you. I know that it was tough for you.
Absolutely. If you would have asked me a week ago why I wrote the book, I would have said that it was for women all over the world who have gone through this issue in some way, shape, or form. But I started to collect my thoughts and realize that it's not only for women, it's for everyone. Because we as women are the leaders of our households, we're the nurturers of our children, we're doctors and dentists, we're the fabric of society. And if we aren't healed from the pain that we unfortunately put upon ourselves, it's self-inflicted pain from abortion, then we can't really be the pillars of society that we really want to be, and the mothers, that we want to be to our children and such. So I think I wrote the book for people all over the world, and especially obviously women, but
men too. Because it affects
they have
men.
to deal with those women who harbor that pain and resentment, and it's hard. It's a tough
thing.
Yes.
It's a tough thing. Has the book given you strength to forgive yourself? After reading it, I felt like you carried a lot of that pain with you still, and you're a mom now.
Yes.
You are with the man that you had the abortion for. He's your husband.
Yes.
He's the father of your children. So I think that makes it a little different in this circumstance.
Absolutely.
So have you found the strength to forgive yourself?
That's an interesting question, and as I sit here, I'm not sure if I found the strength to forgive myself. I think this book will help me find the journey to forgiving myself, and what I really want to do is help other women forgive themselves. So it's a tool for me, but it's a tool for the public. In helping others, I'm also helping myself in this book. And this book was written over the first day I found out I was pregnant, April 13, 1998, and it was a
long
journey.
time ago.
Oh, a long time ago.
1998.
Yeah. And it was a journey. I didn't even know it was writing itself. I'm a poet. I've been a poet since I was about 10 years old. And I wrote every night about what I was going through, from the first day I found out I was pregnant to, the realization that, wow, I'm pregnant. I'm in love with this baby already. This is the man I love. This is, it's not the right time, but I'm still thrilled to be a mommy. I mean, I wanted to be a mom since I was 8 years old. And then it came to the realization, well, how can I keep it? And I have to finish college. Am I going to be able to do all this?
Tell mommy.
Right. Absolutely. And so I went through the journey week to week, literally, of I don't know if I should keep it, but I want to keep it. I should keep it. I don't want anybody invading my body and telling me what I should do. I was very big on, and still am, on appearances and, wanting to have
do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Yeah. Instilled in us growing up to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
Right?
So, yeah. I don't know if I've forgiven myself. I know that I should. And I know that every woman out there should, because I don't see anyone skipping to the abortion clinic. I think it's a decision that we make reluctantly.
Yes.
And with lots of trials and lots of thinking, and it's a hard thing to go through. No one's, it's really difficult. And that's what I want women to know, that it's okay, that it's something that you did, but you can move on and embrace life. I have a section of my book called Claiming, now I'm blanking. Okay. Sorry, but it's the end of the book. It's called Claiming Your Own Forgiveness, and it talks about the fact that as women, we make those decisions for sometimes other people. We have other children we have to take care of. There's all kinds of
Right, they're not the
financial
right
reasons,
financial
cultural
reasons,
reasons.
not
right.
the right circumstance.
Absolutely.
Exactly. There is a
Absolutely.
litany of reasons
Yes.
for why you might do it.
And for those who do it callously, day to day, those aren't the women that we're really talking about. Although my heart goes out to them too, because again, we can't judge. We can't judge in this situation.
And we don't know their
But-
story.
and we don't know their
Everyone
story.
has a story.
Everyone has the story.
Right, everyone has a story. You
Yes.
see this what's on the surface, but you really don't see what's below.
Absolutely, absolutely, and there's pain there. Even for those who are thought to do it very callously, may have several, and just, that's their form of birth control, so to speak. But, I think with Roe versus Wade, we've talked about, the legality of abortion, and we've talked about that piece, but no one's really centered on the heart of a woman. No one's really centered on her pain, and because it's self-inflicted,
Yes.
it's forgotten. It's because we did it ourselves, who cares? And we do it ourselves, but we still deserve, healing. We still deserve a place to go,
Absolutely.
a shoulder to cry on, someone to help us through.
I love what you said. No one skips to the doctor for it.
Right.
No one is smiling about it when they have it done, and they're usually not smiling afterwards. I appreciate that very much. How do you think this has affected your relationship, and do you think it's made you stronger in your relationship with your husband, because he's the person that you're still with, which is beautiful. I love
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And do you think it's made you a better mom?
That's a good question. I don't think it's made me a better mom. I've wanted to be a mom since I knew what a mom was, having the best mom in the world myself. I had such a great figure. I knew I wanted to be a mom from day one. I don't think that it makes me a better mom, but I think it gives me more of the tools to be able to, if ever there was a situation for my daughters or my sons, I would be a good resource. I would know how to help them. But as far as being a better mom, I'm not sure that shaped me in that way. And as far as strengthening my relationship with my husband, we were strong. When we found out we were pregnant, we had already created a seed within us that was worthy of
Strong bond.
yes,
And you still
absolutely.
have that bond.
We do, and I'm so happy about that.
That is beautiful. That is
Yeah.
beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about the illustrator. I was
Sure.
very impressed by the illustrations in the book.
Yes.
And her name is Lois Cato King.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about her.
She's a phenomenal artist. Her artwork should really be on every wall of every cultural entity, in every museum, everywhere. She's done art for as long as I can remember. She is my godmother's sister, so she's pretty much an aunt. You know how we have aunts and uncles in our family.
That's right.
Pretty much.
Yes.
And she's wonderful. And she actually I just remembered yesterday that she constructed out of a cloth paper like material, my first ABC book back in 1978 when I was 1.
Okay.
So she constructed that for me, and now here she is. It's come full circle,
Awesome.
doing artwork for my book. And she had given me, I wanted to write this book 10 years ago, but I was busy having children and 4 kids. And
Life happens.
Life happens, absolutely. So she had given me that piece of work to put on a book one day, and so it happened. So that was designated for the first book that I did, and it fit because the one absolutely fits perfectly.
It does fit.
Yeah.
So where can people get the book? I got it on Amazon, but where can people get
Absolutely. You can go to Amazon.com and look up Neiima Rose, Chasing Forgiveness, Abortion, a Life Sentence. You can order it there. It's $2.99. Or if you'd like to hold it in your hand, like I would love to do, that's my thing, to really hold and smell the pages. It will be coming out the end of this month. I'll have paperback copies, and I could be emailed at mindthemuse77@gmail.com for copies and orders. And I'm also on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Neiima Edwards.
Great. So as we wrap this segment, we just got a couple minutes left. What words of wisdom do you have to share with young women out there who are right now might be watching this and might be making that choice in their head? What would you say to them?
What I would say to every woman out there that might be faced with this decision, or might be faced with the memory of a decision that you made, is that it's time to let go and claim your own forgiveness. God forgives you. You must forgive yourself. that this was something that you did because you thought you had to. And we don't know your circumstances, only you do, but know in your heart that your baby's out there in heaven looking after you, and there's no reason to keep on inflicting that pain that you had to go through that day. There's no reason to keep reliving it. If you want to honor your child, I would say, do your best to live your best life now. That's what I would say do, is to be the kindest, sweetest, gentlest wife, mother, friend. Be there for the people who matter now. It's not a life sentence. It doesn't have to be a life sentence.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's a pleasure to have you on the program. Please stay with us. When we come back, our next guest will be talking about honorable men being honored.
Sometimes I say, wow, sit back and smile when I think about how each valley you brought me over, and the storm you brought me through. You're very present, having trouble time. You shake me down, and this walk the road around, shake down, there's no lie. Shake me up, you shake me down. Experiment. So I'd say your takeaway is to go out there and show Hollywood that they should be gambling on you.
And well, you know, I agree with all that. I think now is the best time ever for independent filmmakers because of the one word, technology. And I think that actually the studios may be getting nervous. When we did our feature, I think it was possible because of one thing, the recession. Actors were half price, we had access to the red, and so I think now is the greatest time for independent filmmakers in the history of filmmaking.
Yeah, and you see out there, even 10 years ago, you know, people were still making their mark, and they got their shot because of what they did independently. I'm just, off the top of my head, take a guy like Peter Hedges, who did Pieces of April. I think he did it for $300,000. Now, granted, that seems like a daunting amount of money for anybody, but for what we're talking about, it's not. And that led to him getting Dan in Real Life, which was $27 million. So it just, you know, you do the work, all of you out there, and I can't stress this enough. You do great work, great things happen. You do shitty work, shitty things happen. That's the way it is. I mean, that's just the way it is. You create holy shit moments, you get holy shit results. You create shit moments, you get shit results.
You know, I am reminded this digital breakthrough is reminiscent of the 1950s, if you will. And I see a lot of young faces out there. Many of you won't remember, but I also see faces that might remember the history of Hollywood. In 1950, the studios were ordered by Congress to divest themselves of their theater and exhibition empire. The MGMs of the industry were built by a total lock on the motion picture industry. And they had something that was called block booking, which was illegal then, it's illegal now. If you wanted to book Gone with the Wind, you had to take 6 dogs from MGM or anybody else. They could force you, the independent exhibitor, to do that. They owned some of the theaters, but there was also a certain number of independents. When Congress told them it's monopoly, it's antitrust, and sued them and won in 1950, they had to sell those theater chains to independents, And out of that came people like Mr. Roger Corman, who is now in his 80s, who was given the AFI Award for Lifetime Achievement, long overdue. He's a legend. He started making entirely commercial pictures. Many of you are familiar with a title called The Fast and the Furious, with people like Vin Diesel. Well, I believe in 1952, Roger Corman made the first Fast and the Furious with Dorothy Malone and John Ireland. It cost $12,000 out of his own pocket. And it has since reaping dividends for him many times that he invested. But the point is, he went on to become a major player in the independent scene, making pictures like the Poe movies with Vincent Price, The Wild Angels with Peter Fonda and Nancy Sinatra. He gave Jack Nicholson his first work. He hired Francis Ford Coppola, Jonathan Demme. I could go on and on. Joe Dante. And what's happening now reminds me that when there is a significant change in the business, in the venue of how pictures are not only made, but how they are delivered to you, the picture-going public. And that's what the digital age is. It is nothing less than a new revolution. And out of it will come auteurs, and out of it will come hacks. But the point is, it is opening doors the same way the doors were opened in the 1950s. And I am intrigued, as a 30-year veteran of this business, to work with young producers and directors who call me and say, "Can I afford you?" And I say, "Well, you can if you're here."
Welcome back to the show. I'm Linnet Carty, and thank you for staying with us. And as I promised, this segment is going to be hot. So for the man that put the hot in Hot Chocolate Soul, please join me in welcoming June Archer. Thank you for being here. Now, June, you are an A&R consultant. You're a TV producer and entrepreneur.
Yes.
You're an author. You're a lifestyle and motivational speaker. And now you're here to talk about your new brainchild. But let's go to Hot Chocolate Soul first, because most people know you from Hot Chocolate Soul. And before you even start, let me just look into the camera and tell all my friends, please don't call me and ask me, "Girl, is he single?" He is not single. He's married. He has 2 beautiful children. Don't call me unless you're calling me to find out how I'm doing. Linnet, how you doing? I have some June, Hot Chocolate Soul.
Yes, Hot Chocolate Soul. Hot Chocolate Soul is doing well. We are in we've been doing this since
Umpteenth years.
2001 at
Yes.
the Bushnell. We celebrated
Love
our
it.
100th show at the Bushnell last October, so we're excited about that and just excited about where it's going to go. So we got a lot of things in place to make it bigger,
Yes.
better.
And so for folks that don't know, it draws a multicultural crowd, and it has talent from singers to actors to poets to musicians, comedians, everybody. So it is a night of fun.
It's awesome. I love doing it because it was something that we needed for the community and something that came about from my group Room Service not having enough platforms to perform and let people see the kind of talent that we had and to see what has come to kind of grow into is just awesome. So I'm proud of it. I'm excited of the possibilities, and it's taking it to different cities, but Hartford will always be home for Hot Chocolate Soul.
Yes, indeed. So let's talk about your book. Yes, every day can be a good day.
Yes, it can.
And that brings me to, I love that you do the Facebook posts every day. I do too, some inspirational, some funny
you have some
things.
great things on it.
Thank you.
I watch. I read just about
I read
every day.
all of yours
and
too.
I like them. I'm like, oh, she's a good one. How come I didn't think of that one?
Thank you.
good stuff on there.
Thanks. But yours are awesome. So
Thank you.
did this kind of drive you to write the book?
What happened was about 2 years ago, I kind of took a look at what was going on social media, from Twitter to Facebook, and I was kind of disgusted with what people were using these mediums for. Airing out dirty laundry or telling people off and telling people's business. And I thought to myself, one or two things are going to happen. Either I'm going to walk away from social media altogether, or I'm going to try to change the 5,000 people that I have access to. And I decided to write motivational, inspirational quotes because I felt as though people needed a positive word or a motivational word or a word of encouragement. And I started doing it, and I said, these are going to be keys to success. Because if you could start letting people know, like, if you do this one thing, you could be successful, not just in business,
Other aspects of your
in
life.
life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it took 5 people liking it, and 10 people liking it, 20 and 40 and 50, and I said to myself, wow, this is awesome. And I started getting inboxes from different people saying,
That's the best
do you
part.
mind me putting this up at work? Like I copied it, I'm gonna put it up at work, or I let my daughter read it every day before she goes to school, and I'm like, wow, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until the death of 2 good friends of mine, Chris Lighty and Shakir Stewart, in the music business, that it prompted me to say, you know what, maybe I should turn this into a book of motivational, inspirational quotes, because I felt like, especially in the entertainment business, you can get into a dark place sometimes. In life, you could get into a dark place sometimes, and you never know when someone close to you, be it a family friend or a sibling or a loved one or a husband or wife, may need that word of encouragement, where 6 months or a year later, they may tell you, you know what, June, that day you called me, just told me you love me, or the day you called me to say how I was doing, I was ready to really pack it in.
Exactly.
And you really don't understand the impact that you may have on people if you just randomly just pick up the phone. Not text messaging, not Facebook, but just pick up the phone or go visit and say, listen, hey, I just want to know how you're doing. I'm just coming to say hi. I didn't want to, happy birthday. I mean, there's a few things every year that you can do. It's Merry Christmas, it's Happy New Year, it's Happy Birthday. So I think if we do those things, I always say
The
love
rest
is a
of the
lifestyle.
year,
Everything else will
exactly,
be,
the rest of the year.
every life gets in the way, so I understand it. I get it.
Yes.
Especially with married, children, or you're trying to start a business, being an entrepreneur. I get it, but we have to get back to the humanistic aspect of life before technology really had taken over.
Well, I love the way you touch people's lives. Some of your quotes that you've put up have really touched mine. And there's nothing better than, you get the likes, you get the comments, and those are great. But as you said, it's the inbox ones where people say, you don't know what you did for me today, that you have no idea. A quick story, I went to Bank of America just the other day. A young man came up to me, do you remember me, Miss Carty? I felt a little bad because I didn't, but as soon as he started to talk and I heard the voice, I was like, 6th grade, you were my student in 6th grade. And he said, you don't know how you impacted my life by the 6th right. And I was like, what? He said, the math test, and you wrote 6th right. Of course, I didn't remember that moment.
Right.
He said, was that an F, Miss Carty? And you said yes, but you got 6 right, which meant you could have got them all wrong, but you didn't get them all wrong, is what I told him. You got 6 right, so next time you're going to get more right. Here he is working at Bank of America. I'm thinking, I need to take my money out of the bank. No, he's an awesome kid. He's an awesome kid. He's grown up and he's done so well for himself. And he said that moment, he never forgot it. It's a moment that I didn't even remember, right? So I thank you for that. I thank you for that. That's the impact. You put these quotes out there, and I know you're rushing because you're doing 50 million things. So I just hope you know the impact that you're having.
I appreciate it. I'm starting to learn it now.
I hope you know.
And I'm trying to get comfortable with it. Because
Yes.
I too find myself, writing it. It was going to couples therapy, celebrating our 5th anniversary. And it was speaking to this lady, and she would just say to us, okay, tell me again why you guys are here, because you guys are sitting next to each other, you guys are holding hands,
Loving.
you guys are looking at one another, communicating. Usually when people get to my couch, they're on the opposite ends of the couch. They're watching the time, they're watching it, they're watching, find out how much time is left, and there is no real interaction. And we said, we were just here for a tune-up. Of course, communication can always be better.
I like that.
And
Tune-up.
Because I think it's needed. I think not in just marriage relationships, but I think friendships need tune-ups. And it was going around the 5th time, every day I would get there, she would ask me, so how are you doing? How was your week? Oh, it was good. Today was a good day. And that 5th time, she looked at my wife, she's like, is he always this happy? My wife was like, yeah, that's part of the problem. That's one of the reasons why we're here. I don't know, I've known him to be this way, but I don't know if it's going to be something that one day just, and she looked at me, she goes, can every day be a good day?
Yes.
And I said, yes, every day can be a good day.
Hence the name.
And that's when I said, hold on, I know I can't use the phone. That is going to be the title of my book when I finish it. And I texted to myself, and from there, that was the inspiration.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because despite everything, the moment you wake up, the day is good.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you
Did
didn't
you
wake
blessed
up,
enough to wake up?
if you didn't wake
If you're
up,
perpendicular with the earth, it's a good thing.
it's a good thing.
It's a
If you
good
don't wake
thing.
up, then you have nothing to complain
Yes.
about.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. So let's talk about your newest brainchild.
Yes.
100 Men of Color. Yeah, see, all the women just sat up. They were like, 100 Men. That's got my interest.
I am
Let's hear
excited
about
about
it.
this. 100 Men of Color came about years ago. And if you know me, I always let things sit and let them marinate. And it was recently a friend of mine who worked at the Connecticut Science Center asked me to sponsor a young man to go to the science camp.
Okay.
And reason being is it was not affordable to
Kids of color.
kids of color.
Put it out there.
And I said, you know what? Instead of one, how about we do more than one? Who is the person I need to speak to do an event? I've always had an idea to do this event, and now you're giving me a reason to do it. She goes, okay, I'll connect you with this individual. So I called the individual, set it up, met with the CEO of the Connecticut Science Center, and they were gung-ho from day one. And it was, how do we raise money for our young black and brown babies to attend the Science Center camp in the summer? But not only that, but to introduce them to science and mathematics at an age where it will impact their life.
Absolutely, forever. That's where America's going, where
That's where we're
technology is.
going. And if
Yeah.
they're not learning it at that age, they're getting beat right from the starting blocks. And it was important to me to do an event, not only to raise money for these young men of color, but also to recognize the men of color who've come before them. And the men of color in the community and the impact that they've had, but also kind of rewarding them for being role models and examples of what men should be. It's not just men of color, but just what men should be. And I said, you know what? Why just do it for Hartford? Why not do it for the state? Because I felt
Yes.
like we should impact the whole state. Because I get tired of people saying, oh, well, guess what happened in the North End? Guess what happened in the South End? Like, somebody got shot. This happened. And I, to myself, say, oh, there they go again. Here we go. It's another hot summer. And I am tired of saying that. I'm tired of hearing it. So let's try to change it. Let's have an event. Let's have a black tie gala, because we don't have enough of them. That we all have to find a reason to dress up.
Yeah, so when's the event?
Saturday, September 14th.
All right, so it's going to be at the Connecticut Science Center. And what I love is you're honoring educators, a Grammy winner, lawyers, fraternity men, Masons, religious folks, media, sports. I can go on and on, servicemen, businessmen, entrepreneurs, and so on. How can people get tickets and information for it?
You could get tickets and information from the website that we have set up. Is 100menofcolor.eventbrite.com. That's 100 men
And you'll
of
see it
color
right here.
.eventbrite. That's eventbrite.com.
Everybody will see it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on September 14th. It's going to be a huge gala.
I'm gonna have my tux on. So,
Oh, sweet.
and I want to make sure you say me dance.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, you
Thank
heard it
you
here.
so much. Right? You guys heard it here, right? Thank you so much for coming on. June Archer. You guys, thank you for watching. I want to big a shout out to my crew. Thank you so much for our director, Butley, and for the help of Armando and Miguel Vasquez and our